Mike. We're very grateful that you've agreed to do an interview for Everyday Earth Hero. My name's Hannah, and before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we stand up, the WATCA people, and respect their elders past, present and emerging. So first off, could you please introduce yourself and tell us how you came to be involved in the Friends of Lake Claremont?
Sure. So my name's Nick Cook. I'm coordinator of Friends of Lake Claremont. I've been involved with the Friends group since 2009. I'm a local resident. I live quite close to the lake, and I saw some media about the closing of the golf course and the revegetation project that was about to commence. For a living, I'm a gardener, so it seemed like a natural fit to me to be able to go down and do a bit of planting and a bit of weeding and that sort of thing, and so that's how I got involved. And then in 2010 I was invited to join the board of directors at Lake Claremont and at Friends of Lake Claremont, and the group was then run by an amazing lady called Heidi Hardesty. Heidi and her husband moved to Queensland in 2017, and that's when I became coordinator.
Cool. We know that Lake Claremont has an interesting history where a disused area of golf course has been restored as bushland. Can you tell us how that came about?
Yeah, sure. So it's actually, Lake Claremont has a really long history of environmental degradation. After colonisation, there were various land uses, market gardens, and then in the 50s and 60s it was used as a local rubbish tip where they infilled part of the swamp and reclaimed the land, which was then turned into a golf course. And so in 2009 the golf course was not very profitable, and the council held a referendum of the ratepayers to determine the future of the golf course, and the options were basically to keep the golf course open as a golf course or to close it and convert it into parkland for the whole community. And it was a very close referendum, little Willy Wagtail. 51 to 49 was the vote to close the golf course, so really close, super close, and Heidi and others did a lot of work to get that over the line, a lot of door knocking and handing out pamphlets and that sort of thing. Then the town closed the golf course, and planning started for the revegetation project. Yeah.
Cool. What do you enjoy most about taking care of the Lake Claremont bushland?
I guess it's been amazing to watch the transformation from golf course to full bushland and revegetated areas. But working with the volunteers is really what I get out of it the most. There's so many wonderful, passionate, talented people, and I've got the opportunity to work with a lot of young people too. We work with the local schools and Millennium Kids, which are awesome. And yeah, so that's kind of the highlights of it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of challenges do you face in this work?
We're quite lucky. We don't have too many challenges at Lake Claremont. The council's been very supportive. We've always had a lot of volunteers prepared to come and get involved, but the lake's always facing challenges where our turtle population is facing some serious predation issues. And we've currently got a shot-hole borer infestation at the lake, which has meant that several trees have had to be taken out, and quite a great number of trees have been taken out actually. So that's probably the biggest threat we face at the moment to the re-veg project. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us about a moment you look back on and feel very proud of yourself and your team?
Yeah. I think the moment I'm personally most proud of is one of my first jobs as coordinator, or one of the first official roles I had to play was attending a smoking ceremony at Lake Claremont with the traditional custodians, and that was the first interaction really between the Friends group and the traditional custodians, and from that day forward we've worked together. We've built a really lovely collaborative relationship, working relationship, but also a really nice friendship. And that's been very meaningful for us and for me.
Yeah. Do you have favourites of the animals and plants here, and if so, why do you love them?
The quenda are definitely my favourite.
Yeah.
So quenda have been locally extinct at Lake Claremont and the wider area for some time, probably estimated, say 50, 60, 70 years. And in February of last year, we started our quenda relocation program, taking quendas from, or relocating quendas rather, from soon-to-be urban development sites and relocating them to Lake Claremont. And that's really to be able to bring a threatened species into a re-veg project is super cool, and probably one of my personal highlights.
Yeah.
The community really is excited about having them there, and it's been really successful. They've moved in, settled in really nicely. They've been having babies, and they're now not just repopulating the park, but they're starting to disperse into the neighbourhood, and we know of a number of people that have them now living resident in their gardens, and they're just so excited about it. So that's been amazing.
I can imagine. What are your hopes for Lake Claremont in the future?
Well, I hope that the community continues to embrace what we've done there and what we've achieved, and we like to. I guess we're moving. It's interesting. We're moving from an installation revegetation phase. All the major re-veg works are finished now, and we're just doing sort of constant infill, but on a much smaller scale. So our focus is moving more towards community education, environmental education, working more with youth groups like Millennium Kids and the schools, and so I guess that's probably what I hope the future of Lake Claremont looks like, where the community continues to embrace it and love it and protect it, and fight for it.
Yeah. Please could you tell us a bit about your work protecting tree canopy with the WA Tree Canopy Association?
Sure. That's been really exciting too. So I've been involved with the Tree Canopy Advocates for a little over 2 years now. I started by joining with the first Tree Canopy Advocates group, which was the Netherlands Tree Canopy Advocates. And when I joined them 2 and a bit years ago, they had probably 30 or 40 members, and they've now got about 1,000 members. And the Netherlands group inspired other groups to form. We started with South Perth and Melville, and we now have 21 community groups across Perth in different LGAs across Perth, all advocating for urban tree canopy protections. So Perth has the worst canopy cover of any capital city in Australia, and it's the only state that doesn't have any tree protection legislation or regulation on tree removals. So now we've formed, as the number of groups grew, we formed an umbrella group called the West Australian Tree Canopy Advocates, and they are the umbrella group for all the local community groups, and they are engaging with the state government to set regulation around tree canopy removal, and also to set a target for tree canopy of 30% cover by 2040.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been a really exciting experience, and it continues to grow. Last week we were really excited to welcome the Geraldton Tree Canopy Advocate Group, so that's our first regional partner, and I think it's just a subject that has tapped into people all across Perth are really concerned about canopy now, and we've created somewhere for them to share those concerns and to advocate for positive change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people find out more, and how can they join in and support the Friends of Lake Claremont?
Sure. So Friends of Lake Claremont, you can visit our website, and we have a Facebook page, and the same goes for the West Australian Tree Canopy Advocates. You can search for a local tree canopy advocate group in your area, and if there isn't one, then you can come and talk to us about forming one, and we'll help you do that. But you can also look at the West Australian Tree Canopy Advocates website and Facebook page.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time today, Nick.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks,
us
Hannah.
too. Thank you.
Great.